Security Guide.
Welcome to the Security Guide podcast, where safety meets strategy. I'm your host, Rafee Moosagie, and each week we dive deep in the security matters. Guys, today, what's on my mind? Mental health for the gods and the security industry. Guys, this is a big one. I feel that, first of all, I want to make a claim. I am no expert in mental health or anything of that sort, but I just feel that what's happening in the industry, where people are getting into fights and being condescending, and all the CCMA cases and all the drinking and violence and the late coming and the absenteeism, I feel that the root cause analysis is mental health. How do I deal as an individual? What has helped me? And what is some of the key aspects or key things that can help you just to become a better, happier, more excited, more kinder employee to the organization. And this is for anybody that's actually can take this advice. So one of my first books that I read, I think now it's going almost 15 years ago, when I started the journey of personal development. Because as you know, I'm self-taught. I didn't go to a tertiary education. So books has become my companion. In this book over here, it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So what I've done was, I have basically took the 7 chapters that you have to go, the seven categories, and I've changed it around, and I made my own sort of spin to make it relevant to the gods. So guys, let's dive in. Number 1, being proactive. So what does that mean, being proactive? Being proactive basically means that God often reacts to situations in a positive or negative way. Remember guys, you always have 2 channels. Channel N and channel P, meaning channel negativity, you're going to be negative about this, or channel P, you are going to be positive about this. So the whole thing is being proactive, being mentally prepared for your shift, how you show up, how you focusing, how you had your sleep routine. So you need to be proactive and mindfulness of this. What time am I actually going to go to bed? I need to sleep early. It's because I know I need to be 6 o'clock. My train is going to leave at 5 o'clock. So I know I need 8 hours of sleep, or 6 hours, 7 hours. So I need to be in certain time. So be proactive, guys. That's number 1. Number 2, guys, begin with the end in mind. I mean, in the book, Stephen Covey, he takes this at the end, where you visualize yourself at your funeral, when you're at your deathbed or at your passing. What do you want people to remember you at? What were you about? What was your life mission? Because if you came to this world for a small period of time and you haven't affected change, positive change in some way or manner, what was your life's mission? Obviously, as somebody of myself, obviously we're very religious, so we obviously have the value system of obviously our religion. So we know that certain thing is obviously to worship God and praise Him, and then obviously to serve mankind. So I would say that visualizing yourself as a security guard, your family, and how you come out to do your work, and your mental capability, how you visualize yourself through this journey of being a security guard and where you want to take your life. So it's very important, guys. Visualization, it's one of the most important things to have. That's why, haven't you seen when you meet kids, they always have this imagination. Hey, Dad, I want to be a pilot. I want to be this. They're always thinking of imagination. And then when you become a grown-up, they beat that out of you. And then you you basically surrender. You basically give up. You don't chase after for your dreams. So security guys and security ladies, please don't just be in the rat race. Obviously, visualize where you want to be. I hope I made that point clear. Then point number 3, guys, is put first things first. This is very important, guys. You know what is important. Number 1 is your health. If you don't have your health, how can you perform your duties? You don't have your life. Your life will be very difficult. So you need your rest. You need to have your 6 to 8 hours sleep. You need to have family time. Basically outside work. How are you going to spend time with your family, guys? This is all, I would say, like if you read the book, Stephen Covey says about making emotional deposits and emotional withdrawals. So remember, if you look at your mental state, it's like a bank account. It's either you are emotionally putting positive investments in it, or you're withdrawing it. That's why sometimes when the relationships break, I would say that the emotional withdrawal is so much, somebody just keep taking from you until there's nothing left, until then the relationship breaks, and we don't want that. So obviously, guys, make sure you are not choosing the unhealthy habits, the smoking, and guys, remember the drinking. Remember a few episodes ago, we spoke about how South Africans like to drink. And sometimes the first of the month, the people get their salary, or whenever your salary is being paid, you guys are turning to the bottle. It's so unacceptable, guys. You guys are drinking your problems away. That's not the way to go, and it's going to increase your mental well. It's going to increase your anxiety, your stress level, and all that. So when I say put first things first, it's in the moment of the time that you need to do the work, do the work. When it's time to sleep, sleep. When it's time to work, work. When it's time to exercise, exercise. Be full in, guys. Be totally in the moment. One of the other biggest distractions, guys, is the phone, and I'm guilty myself, because sometimes I think the mind-numbing scrolling, because it's so entertaining, that it can waste hours. So even that's something that is, you might not think it's a big issue, like smoking and drinking. Putting first things first is also managing your time. Guys, we only have 24 hours a day. So the way I look at it, guys, think about this. If I tell you, I'm going to give you 24 Krugerrands or 24 pieces of gold a day, the way you spend that gold, it's going to either increase and in value or decrease. So remember, you're already spending 6 hours to 8 hours of your Krugerrands on sleeping. Now you're waking up, you have another, 18 Krugerrands. So I don't know if you're spending it on scrolling, is that going to give you a return? You spent like a quarter Krugerrand, is 15 minutes, half a Krugerrand, half an hour. 1 hour, it's a full Krugerrand. I think the Krugerrands now was like 62 Rand, 62,000 Rand. I don't know now. So imagine your hours of your life, because every hour is going it's a form of death. So you need to keep investing in your future self, guys, which is highly important. So I see you guys all the time. You guys, some of you have become professional complainers. You know what that means? Where the whole world out there is the problem, but me. So think about that. If we can't change ourselves, how do you expect the world to change? We only have control of our actions. So I think putting first things first is vitally important. I hope I stress this point very, very clearly. And this is really to enlighten some of you, some of the security or anybody else is listening to this, that guys, please, we want to move out of this thing about complaining and blaming to taking full accountability and responsibility for our own actions. Because for 1 hour that you've spent scrolling, you could have gone and listened to an audible book. You could have read something. You could have searched on ChatGPT to learn a certain skill. You could have taken a language, learn a cooking thing, understand photography or some sort of hobby or YouTube video and up your skills, even since it's going to take you time. But what we do, we waste our time. And then at the end of the month, we start blaming outside people over there. And then we wonder why we always anxiety, we have to take pills, we lead to smoking, drinking, because we haven't put first things first. So security guards, please, unions is not going to save you. The last I heard, the person might know, it's, they keep staying absent and they get their parents involved in situations to send voice clips to say that, to cover up for behaviors that they got themselves into. So sometimes we need to take responsibility for our own actions. And another thing is, if we get into the habit of not keeping promises with ourselves, guys, how do you expect to build confidence? I don't understand. If you can't take yourself seriously, I don't understand how somebody else can take you seriously. So guards, if you say you are going to, in 6 months' time, you are going to save up 200 Rand or 300 Rand or 500 Rand a month, you're going to put aside for your grade B course, you need to fulfill that promise, because at the end of the 6 months, you haven't saved any money. God forbid, you've drank your money out, you've wasted it, and now there's a position for an inspector job and you still haven't taken the opportunity. And then you start blaming, my inspector is not doing his job, and then you start blaming everybody else. Then you start putting the race card. No, they're being racist. And then you guys put on, no, you know what? These companies just want to victimize me. Coming up with your same old excuses for the last, I don't know how many decades. It doesn't work, guys. The ones that are moving above, they are moving past you. You are left behind, guys. You are left in the situation of struggling and difficulty and anxiety because of your own decisions. Because first, you haven't put first things first. You haven't prioritized your rest, your family, your well-being, your education. So I wish you guys take this one very seriously. All right, guys. Let's move to point 4. Think win-win. When you're thinking about win-win, it means what I want for myself, I want for somebody else. I'm here to gain and to give and to gain, and not just take in a relationship. So this means a supportive relationship. God and managers both benefit when they give and take together for the mental well-being. So if you are a security guard or anybody and you have a manager, obviously you need to understand that you need to firstly put your best behavior. Don't play politics, guys. We can see, and the manager can see right through that, where you are playing games, you are coming late, you are giving sick leave, you are phoning Infinity, because now Infinity, you can just phone them and they send you an email, and then you send it off to HR, and then you get nice days off. You always have the smart answer. When you caught, you then have you'll call the unions or call the race card. It doesn't work, guys. Same like the victimized managers. You want to bully the staff. You want to charge them for jobs, and God forbid you want to solicit them for sexual activities. I mean, that's the dirt of the industry, and so there's no both ways. I would say that they need to think win-win. So I feel that on both sides, if people think win-win, their mental well-being will be much more valuable, much more easy, less stressful, less turning to the vices. So, I mean, in the book, Stephen Covey he mentions something about how do you think win-win. When I come to a deal, I put what is the best scenario for both of us to win, not how I can outsmart him and outcompete him, which in some cases that's the reality, in certain deals. But the mentality as an employee and employer, give the benefit of the doubt. So guards need to feel respected and supported, while the company gets reliable and alert staff. I mean, I think that is really a win-win situation. The company supports the guard, and the guard becomes reliable. When it's time for his incident report, he gives a nice incident report. He's vigilant. He's on his job. He's not playing tricks. So I think that's very important, guys. Now let's move to number 5. Seek first to understand, then be understood. So for managers, listen to your guards. Challenge before you give instructions. So make sure, managers, you are listening to your guards. Understand them. Don't come with a judgment that you want to get them. Seek to understand before you give instructions. And for guards, take openly your supervisor or your so guards, take openly the advice and the instructions of your supervisor and hear what they are saying. Otherwise, stress is going to build up. You are going to you're going to listen to your manager, but you are not going to execute on the decisions or the orders of the manager is giving you. Then obviously life is going to become difficult. He's going to call you in his office. He's going to send you a disciplinary. All this due to you not taking openly advice or counseling from your superiors. Because obviously once you sign a contract, there's a set of duties that you will have to do and you will have to execute. And by not performing that, you will then obviously make life harder for you. And then we then start playing the politics, the blame game, starting to victimize, race card. It's the same thing over and over. So guys, I would like to save you guys the whole trouble. Come with an open mind. Come with somebody that wants to grow. A good book I would also recommend is Mindset by Carl Dweck. I was actually listening to this morning on my run. So in there they talk about a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So fixed mindset is somebody that feels that their IQ, their ability, it's fixed. You can't change it. If you write a test, that is your ability. And a lot of the time, and then you get the growth mindset, somebody that feels that, listen, the ability that I have now, I can work on it. and you can get better. Likewise, for me, I feel also I'm very new to this whole this podcast where I'm basically serving you people, because I've realized now that I'm going through this now for 6 months that this is not about me, about the security guide. This is about you guys. This is about serving use, how your life can get better. It's not about me. I'm just the messenger. So for me, if 1 or 2 or 3 people take this advice and better their life, I've done my mission. I've left the world a better place. I've helped people unblock certain things and help them progress in life. That's great. That's all I want. I want goodness for you guys. So, getting back to the book, it's so some of the people have a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and generally when people have a fixed mindset, they build the ego about being right and about always, being smart and covering it up. And they silence the naysayers, the people that critique them, and they just have yes people under them. That would be a thing. And they get very offended when you constructively criticize them. They don't like that. So those are your fixed mindset people. Then the next sort of mindset, which I would like to think that I'm a growth mindset, but I think that sometimes we all a little bit fixed mindset, but a growth mindset is somebody that feels that their ability and their mindset and their skill level can be coached, can improve over time, over lessons, with sheer will, dedication, motivation, over a period of time. You can get better. I'm a advocate of this, because I know when I started out this whole social media, and if you see some of my videos, I wasn't really confident in front of the camera. Now I'm like, I don't mind speaking. I don't mind. And I heard another quote, and now I'm jumping, is that if you are not willing to seem foolish and stupid, you won't really be successful, because you must be okay with making mistakes. Sometimes you're saying your words wrong and allowing people to judge you, and accepting that, listen, that yes, I've made that mistake. It's feedback. I can grow. Maybe I'm saying no, I don't say that anymore. So you learn. It's a journey. And we all from birth, from being a kid to learning to walk and whatever, we're always learning. So what I want from you guys is always thinking of being learners. We are constantly students, guys. The day that you stop learning is the day that it's your funeral, guys. So seek first to understand, then be understood. So I hope we got that point number 5. All right, let's move on to the next point. It's called synergy. So this when security work can feel isolated, but teamwork improves both safety and morale. So this, obviously, you need to synergize, work together, sharing shifts, helping the guys, backing the guys up, talking through your experiences, strengthening your mental resilience. So obviously, guys, you need to synergize with other like-minded people, other positive, because sometimes I need somebody that I can talk to that's also being in the positive mindset, and somebody that is actually bringing out the joy, bringing out the good feeling, and people that that can handle and don't all the time put down your dreams. Somebody that's not just negative. You get to some people that just tell me, guys, what, the economy and the violence and what's happening here, it's just all doom and gloom. You can't just be around that all the time. You need to be around people that actually makes you want to be a better person, makes you want to be a better version of yourself, and just put you in a positive state, guys. So I think if all South Africans and people listening to this just take this one thing, that your mental state you can change at any given time. Think about that. You're one decision away from just thinking yourself out of a negative situation. I understand there's certain situations that, yes, if there's crisis happening, I get that. But guys, come on, man. When you have road rage, somebody pulls in you, you don't have to get that angry. It's when stimulus meets the how you guys handle what the reaction to what's happening to you, the story you tell yourself is the most important thing. Because if somebody pulls in, if you tell yourself, how dare you, how this and whatever, you build up anger, resentment, road rage, or you can just think, okay, you know what, this person's having a bad day, and move on. So yeah, so I would say synergy is so important, guys. I would say that teamwork, it improves your morale. So this is, you know, I know it's mental health, but this is just overall to be a highly effective God or person. You understand? So I would say these are rules and principles that tested time, guys. What I'm talking to you, I'm just a messenger. I'm just basically taking some of the works of the greats before me. And I feel that, you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you want to be a giant, stand on the shoulders of a giant. If you're a dwarf, you become higher than them. So that's why I think books, it's always been, or podcasts, or YouTube videos, or any of these platforms, Udemy, where you're learning skills. I think it's a great thing. Hence, where I'm moving to the last point. Sharpening the sword. The most powerful link to mental health. Gods need to renew themselves, sleep, exercise, and learning new skills, emotional relationships, and spiritual faith, reflection, and purpose. Without renewal, burnout happens quickly. So guys, let's unpack that. You have to, obviously, your physical well-being, sleeping, exercising, guys. If you're not doing that, that is the easiest way to feel better. Is I would say 4 things, guys. Your sleep, make sure you are sleeping your 6 to 8 hours. Your exercise, whether you're doing push-ups, sit-ups, you don't have to a gym, guys. You can do it here. You can go for a run. You can skip. You can do stretches. Your mental health, obviously that. And then your diet, what you eat. That's so important. And obviously your stress level, how you see the world, how you obviously how you obviously perceive. You obviously are always in a negative state, a frustrating state. And then also, I would say another one that will add confidence to your mental health, help you. It's keeping promises with yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. The more you do that, you develop and put things in your reliability bank account. So we all have a reliability bank account as humans. So you know you can't fake that. I mean, you know, in the last 7 days, things that you did or not doing. If you know you're just doing bad habits, smoking, getting up late, not exercising, you're doing it for years, you know you have a completely withdrawn, you bankrupt there. So when you're thinking of confidence, like, why does people have confidence? It's because they're getting up and they're doing the work. So that's why they got the confidence. You can't be unfit and saying like, I want to will myself. You need to put effort in. So that, I would say, it's confidence. Let's move to mentality, learning new skills, guys. I would say reading books, being around positive people, guys that are doing things. Be around people that are either spiritually charged or physically charged or emotionally. They have a wealth of emotion, or sitting with elderly people that's got wisdom, that was in the struggle, and learning skills or learning basic courses. Very, very important, guys. Will help you sharpen your sword. Your emotional well-being. This is your healthy relationships, how you treat your significant other, you know, how you clock in, making that small deposits, you know, hi honey, how are you, everything, and wishing and checking up, and, you know, your children, doing that hard work. Because they say also in the book, love is a verb. it's a doing thing. You have to do love, meaning that you have to do the actions of love. You have to go out and do the actions, and it's a daily routine in order it's work to maintain it. It's not just a physically emotional feeling that people think that you see in the movies and whatever. Like they showed a picture of a young person and a newly couple and whatever, you know, all on the socials, kissing and whatever, and they showed an old couple and they asked, what is love? Most people will think it's the new relationship person, but it's actually that old person, that old couple that managed to stick together for all those years. They worked through their issues. They had the difficult moments. They had the turbulence, and they knew how to make up and understand conflict and learning and whatever. So that is the action, guys. So that will, your emotional relationships are very important. I myself need to obviously work on these things, you know. So now I'm speaking about it. Obviously, I need to actually get that. And then lastly, guys, I would say your spirituality. So guys, if you, I mean, faith, reflection, purpose, obviously I'm a person of faith. I believe in the creator. So I'm always having faith, whatever your faith. I think that's so important. Your reflection on your behavior, how you've treated others, reflecting on that, your purpose. This will all help you renew your energy and burn out, guys. So guys, that brings us to the end of our 7 habits of highly effective gods. I hope you've enjoyed the episode as much as I've made it, guys. And as always, if you took any benefit, please, please, please share this with some of your friends, family members. It will really help us in the back end so we can spread the message more and we can serve you guys more. Until then, I shall see you in the next episode. I'm Rafee Moosagie, and you've been listening to the Security Guide podcast. Stay legendary, be cool, and be safe.